unfiltered up they stream. Straight from the heart of the Pimcore team. Breaking the mold, we're bringing it new. Knowledge and power directly to you.
Hello and welcome to this session of Pimcore Inside. My name is Christian Fasching, I'm VP Product at Pimcore, and with me in the session is
Patrick, Product Manager at Pimcore.
Hi Patrick. Patrick, what topic should we discuss today?
Today, I'd like to talk about a very important topic when it comes to data maintenance, and it is autosave, drafts, and versions for data objects and documents.
And this is indeed a very important topic here, and we also did some streamlining and improvements in Pimcore Studio. So I think it's really a topic worth talking about and showing what we actually changed in Pimcore Studio. I think the best way to show it is to open Pimcore Studio and show it to you. So let's jump into the backend of Pimcore Studio and start with it.
Okay, so here you see one data object. In this case, it's a news data object. And I detached the window for the versions. So you have on one screen the data object itself and all the different versions. For this data objects, you see that we have two versions. So beforehand, I already changed one value here. So it was the date. And now we have two versions. And now you can compare these two versions. And you immediately see that the date was changed. And this is really very, very handy if you have all those information on one screen, I would say. I really loved it.
That's really a cool feature, yes.
Another very important thing is the saving as a draft. So in here, you can say you want to save the changes as a draft. And then, Christian, can you explain what we've seen here, how that works with the drafts?
Yeah, so draft is actually what we also had already in classic UI. That's a version of the data object, and the same goes for documents as well, which is not public available yet. So to all the APIs and also to the front end, these changes are not ready yet, but they are of course stored in Pimcore backend in Studio UI in this case. So on the version list on the right side, you see already that an additional version was added here into this list. We also see, of course, when we would compare these now, that we have the changes made. So maybe compare it with the latest published version.
Yeah.
And actually in this version list, we also see which version is the published version and that there are additional draft versions which are actually newer to the public version. When you open up a data element in Pimcore backend, it always opens the latest version available. So it not opens the published version, but it opens the latest available version. And this, of course, might be a draft version, which is not published yet. And in this case, we see this banner here in the top of the editor, which warns you about or gives you a hint. Hey, user, be careful. This is a version that is not public available yet. This is a draft version. And of course, it also gives you the option to delete the draft version also in the button here to go back to the previous version, which in our case would be then the published version again. Maybe please don't press it now. Let's
Okay.
let's press save and publish, because then
Maybe one question first. Does every user see the draft version or only the user that created the draft?
No, the draft version is available for every user. So when you manually press save draft in the toolbar in the bottom, then this draft version is available to all the users. Yeah, and what I meant before, when we now click save and publish, then we would now publish this version. And we also see that now the published version in our version list changed. And also when we, for example, now compare the latest published version and the previous version, which was our draft version, we see that there are actually no changes except of the modification date. So there we really just published the exact same version, and by publishing, Pimcore always creates also a new version in that regards.
Okay. And you said I should not press on delete draft. Why? So if I save a draft again, then here I can delete it. It was just for showing the save and publish, right?
Exactly. So of course you always can
Okay.
save, delete, press delete the draft. You can do it now
Yeah.
also. It I think also
Mhm.
asks you if you really want to delete the draft, because then it's really gone. Um, and yeah, you always can of course go back. And there you also see that you go back to the next version. A published version you cannot delete directly in the banner. Or there
Mhm.
is no banner anymore now. So we now see that when we open the editor of the element, we see the published version, and then of course Pimcore doesn't show any banner, but shows the published version in this case. Yeah,
Mhm.
and then in addition to that, we have this autosave feature, which is also already available in Classic UI. We very much improved it now in Studio UI, so it should now work much more reliable and also creates a draft version in this case. So when we now change some values here
Change
directly
something.
in the Pimcore backend, we see this little small icon here in the toolbar in the bottom, which indicates that now we have saved an autosave version. So the changes that we did are saved, but we didn't create a draft version in this case. It's really just saved for the current user. And maybe when we just reload the data object now, then we also will see the the warning that we have some changes, but still when we reload it, it still will load the auto-saved version. And in this case, again, we have now a banner in the top, which warns us about this fact that we now opened an auto-saved version. And also in the version history, we see that we have this auto-saved version available here. There's a big difference between the
Mhm.
draft version that we created before by manually clicking the save button and the autosave version, because the autosave version is only available to the current user. So this is, if you like, so my private autosave version, my autosave draft, and it's not available to any of the other users. Whereas the draft versions that you create by clicking the Save Draft button are available to the other users as well. Besides that, everything, or not everything, but in the draft autosaved versions behave the same. We have the delete autosaved draft version button in the banner at the top, so we can go back again to the previous version and delete our draft so that we have a clean version again for
Okay.
our data object.
Nice. Thank you very much, Christian.
I think that was it for today. So don't forget also to check out the other videos that we have available in our Pimcore Inside series. And for today, we say see you, bye bye, and hope to see you next time.
See you. Bye bye.